Hi, I'm Kristen, and I am a pregnancy coach who works with pregnant mamas all over the world. I help you go from feeling anxious and overwhelmed to really enjoying your pregnancy, preparing for a sacred birth, and giving your baby the beautiful beginning that you dream of. Today, I want to talk about the advice that your midwife may not give you. A lot of times we think, I've got a midwife, so I've got everything covered. But the truth is the word midwife means different things depending on where you are in the world, what state you are in the United States, what country you're in, and even just the midwife and where she's at, where she's practicing, or what her philosophy of birth is. And there are some things that a lot of midwives tend to gloss over because they think, I'm a midwife, I'm in favor of natural birth, and so my clients are going to have good outcomes. The problem is it's not about who you pick to be your care provider that determines your good outcome, though that can help a lot. It's much more about the work that you do yourself. So one thing that a lot of midwives don't talk with their clients about the way that they should is the importance of preparation for natural childbirth. That might seem a little bit evident or obvious to you, but a lot of times you think, I chose a midwife, she believes in natural birth, I'm all set. Or you think, okay, I need to read a little bit about what happens during birth and read some birth stories and I'm all set. But if you've been listening to my videos for a while, you know that it takes more than that. I've had 8 babies myself, 8 beautiful natural births. And the thing that made the difference was choosing a midwife, but also having a midwife who told me, emphasized to me just how important it was to prepare for that birth. Not just make it to my prenatal appointments, but to actually prepare for birth. And I'm always grateful that I ended up with one of those midwives who was willing to do that. But I know that so many are busy or they just don't even realize the importance themselves. So what you need to do is you need to gain the skills that it takes to work your way through labor and birth. And if you want to have a great birth where you feel like you're the one who's making the decisions, where you're the one who's doing things, then the best thing to do is to prepare for your natural birth intentionally. I know that my 4th baby's birth was an incredibly triumphant birth. Now, my midwife actually missed the birth because she got there, she checked me, that's the last vaginal exam I had out of any of my babies, said I was only 3 centimeters and decided to go home and go to bed. Now, this was the first baby that I had with that midwife, and in all honesty, this was the first labor that I had that went kind of like this one did. But what happened is I felt a lot of self-doubt. And it took some work and encouragement from my husband to start believing in myself again. But after a little bit, I did start listening to my body again, though there was a small seed of doubt there. But what I did was, instead of staying in bed trying to rest like my midwife had suggested, I went downstairs, I got active, I started moving around. I kept thinking, I can't believe that it feels like this when I'm not very far along. But the reality was that my body was opening super fast. And so I was doing what I needed to do. And the most beautiful thing about his birth was the pushing stage, because with the pushing stage for my first 3 babies, I felt really overwhelmed and almost like my midwife had to step in and take charge, even though I loved her and adored her. But this baby was coming so fast that there was no time for the midwife, even though she only lived about 10 minutes away, to get back in time. My water broke, my husband called her to come back, but the baby was born on the next contraction. And the beauty of that experience was that it taught me that my preparation that I had done really paid off, because in my mind, I had prepared, I had learned the practical birth techniques, and I had also mentally prepared, envisioning the birth, preparing myself mentally. And then when it came to it, even with that little bit of doubt, when his body was coming, I knew he was coming and I was ready to receive him into my own hands. And that is how I birthed every single one of my babies after him. Now, I'm sharing this with you because I don't want you to have to go through 4 births and your midwife missing it, for you to realize the importance of that inner work and that inner journey, and realizing that yes, your midwife is there to be a guardian over birth of sorts and to be a support person for you, but you are the one birthing this baby. And that spiritual inner journey and that preparation preparation is yours. And it does take a lot of work. You don't just waltz into a beautiful birth. You do that work with intention and prepare for that. Just like a female athlete prepares for her victory, you're going to prepare for your euphoric victory as well. Now, another thing that sometimes midwives won't talk to you about is nutrition counseling. And again, this is different depending on what midwife you have and what her perspectives are, and even what the research and regulations say in your area. But just like doctors, a lot of times midwives leave off nutrition. It is really important for you to make sure that you have an excellent pregnancy diet, because that keeps you low risk and that also helps prepare you for a safe birthing time with your baby. Many midwives even believe that postpartum hemorrhage just happens. But the truth is when you have a well-nourished mom and an undisturbed birth, things like postpartum hemorrhage and those sorts of complications don't usually happen. So while it can be life-saving to have interventions there, and you may want to have your midwife there or your doctor there, you may not be planning an unassisted birth, and that's fine, because those care providers have many other benefits as well. But again, this is really your birthing time, and you're the one who's doing your prenatal care every day, and you're the one who gains the confidence to be able to have a birth that is so beautiful. What I love about babies number 5 through 8 is that even though I chose to have a midwife there for all of them, and she was there for everybody except baby number 7, who she also missed, she was there on the sidelines watching over me, but I was the one who was doing it. And it was really a beautiful thing. In fact, sometime I'll share with you my 6th baby's birth, because you can see that nobody in the room realized he was born until I brought him up. And you actually watch my midwife jump in surprise when I brought him up out of the water. It was such a beautiful moment on so many levels, but most of all because I stood in that beauty and sovereignty and autonomy and birthed my baby. And that's what I want for you. And you need to do the work that sometimes people, even midwives, don't talk to you about. Now, if you're listening to this video, I know that you are the kind of mom who is conscious and intentional about your pregnancy. And you're thinking, that all sounds great, Kristen. I know I need to do the work. I know I need to prepare, but I'm just not sure how. What does a good diet look like? What does that mental preparation look like? What does that inner work that you're talking about look like? I love working with moms and helping you walk through this. This is exactly why I became a pregnancy coach, because I realized that moms all over the world need that level of guidance. If getting that practical support and also having that emotional support and somebody who honors you and believes in you for you sounds good to you, I would love to chat. We can talk this week. Head over to birthbabylife.com/beautiful and let's connect and talk about how I can support you through this beautiful pregnancy journey.